Hey guys. All right, Joebizz34 back again, and this is going to conclude this year's special edition Halloween vid review special. And for 2023, this is part 3 called The Final Chapter, which is very fitting, right? Considering the first part was called The New Beginning, which is also a play on one of the Friday the 13th sequels, and now The Final Chapter. And, to be honest with you, this is very Jason heavy, and this video is going to end Jason heavy as well, because I got some more Jasons to show. And I have, more of that with Gallactibles stuff in there. And in addition to that, I'm going to show the final parts of the interview I had with Dan and Tanila to kind of wrap this up this year. And hopefully you guys can enjoy these 3 parts, in its entirety or individually by the time Halloween night occurs. By the time you're watching this, I should hopefully be on time to have this, on about or a little before Halloween night. So to say that I went a little nuts with Freddy this year and was on a Freddy kick is an understatement, as you could see evidence here. This is not even all the Freddys I own. You guys have seen others in the past. I have the long arm Freddy. I have the original Part 1 Freddy from Beta Metalli. I've recently reacquired a Part 2 that's Beta as well, sort of. It's kind of a bash, but I'll explain that. And with that came this awesome logo right here, sign that came with this Freddy, from what I bought, which is really cool and would make a nice display like this on the shelf where, it kind of indicates the whole genre here of, what this is. And this is obviously Robert Englund's Freddy and different variations and different iterations of Freddy across the movies. Mainly 1 through 3 here is what I'm showing. Or I should say just two and 3, because I don't have a part 1. My part 1 is over to the side that, people have seen many times. I kind of wanted to focus on what was new. Now, this one here to start with, Brutus Customs, as you know, he came along this year, and, I did showcase this in its own review. And I wanted to kind of revisit it for the sake of the Halloween vid and to, do a little comparison. Now, I did weather it up a little bit, and I did tweak this figure some more. It is the prototype. He was cool about giving me his blessing to kind of, mess with it a little bit, one-on-one prototype, and he's doing a run now. And it's a really sweet set. As I showed before, it comes with the non-gloved, nail hand or knife hand, whatever you want to call it. And then in addition to that, he gave the gloved hand that's part of a magnetic system that, just pops off and on with a magnet on the arm. And then he gave me extra stuff to kind of build up extras, because as you can see, there's plenty of other head sculpts to work with here. So you got the brain reveal head that I've shown, and then the kind of the stoic, no expression face, which is very creepy. It still creeps me out when I look at that. And then there's this one that's the most unique, which is when at the end when he's kind of melting and Jesse's kind of coming out of it, and of course the extra bonus head here, which was like just kind of like the gnarly, the snarling face, very similar to, Beto's look or so on. And I specifically requested that head. Repainted it. I kind of messed with it a little bit, but again, it's a beautiful 4th option. Very effective and stuff, but really cool. So, I just wanted to revisit this figure. Now, I had planned to do other variants. As you can see, I have more of the sweaters and stuff that he used, with this set. Obviously, he weathered it and colored it. And the Fusion is the one that made the sweaters and the pants. So I had bought extra sets off him, to kind of attempt to build up other figures. I would obviously need to do some weathering and some coloring like he did. But I'll put his name here for reference of who did the clothing. Very reasonable. He's working on other stuff too, like Maya's coveralls and stuff like that. So for now, for the sake of this video and for my display, since this is kind of the most unique offering of any other Freddy that's been done, I really learned to really like this one, and I'm kind of using this as the display for that one because it's very unique and it offers something different, from all the other ones. So, kudos again to Brutus Customs and his work with the outfit and all that good stuff and the full figure, and good luck on his run, as you can see there once again. And there's the logo sign that I got from this beauty. Now, this beauty is basically Beta Metalli's famous Part 2, but with a twist, right? So I saw this, I bought this secondhand. Guy was selling this on eBay, and basically, it's basically all original except for the sweater. The sweater was done by Joebizz, which, by the way, besides getting a sweater from Beta Metalli or Lou directly, this is probably the best Freddy 2 sweaters I've ever seen, at least, when they were making them like this. I don't know what they're doing now. But this is a very good option and a very nice stand-in for a Freddy 2 sweater that I've seen out there, besides having an original from Beto. Pants, the shoes, everything else, the hand, the glove is original. This is all basically what it came with, and there's the head sculpt. As we know, this is still considered king by many. There's the hat, which is also original. Now, the only difference here that makes this a little unique is this head in particular was repainted by Nathan Eakins, aka Silent Surfer. So when he advertised it, he said that Nathan had painted this one and kind of put his own twist to it. And it is very effective. It is very nice. It definitely has a different paint app appearance than Beto's original. And, it's a preference thing. I kind of love the sculpt regardless of how it's painted, but it definitely does bring something extra, or a different spin on it. He went with darker tones kind of in the crevices, and he did bring out, I would say, the details and the wrinkles more in the face. For some people, this might be sacrilegious, like you don't mess with an original piece, but this is kind of a bash anyway. And I as far as like the sweater and stuff, so, it's kind of like a unique part 2 anyway. It's a one-off per se compared to the the original run. So it is what it is, but it's really nice. It really is. And it still kind of shines as a measuring stick, if that makes sense, to kind of like because this still does look very accurate and very good. Now, the person that's been killing it and has come really close, who's really doing some outstanding work and you could really say has been killing it in other expressions for part 2 is Gabriel. So this is a bash I put together with Gabriel's part 2 sculpts. And as you can see, that's more of the neutral expression, similar to, I guess, this type of expression, right? But but this is Gabriel's interpretation of it. And once again, it really is sweet. Now, I did touch it up and repaint it a little bit, just to kind of, improve the paint app a little bit, just because I just wanted to make it pop a little more, I guess, similar to what, was done here. Not anything extravagant or extreme, just a little bit to my liking. I kind of gave it a little more of a wet look. The sweater and everything else I had from previous years, the pants and all that, so I just kind of bashed it together. This sweater, actually, a lot of people have asked me about it. They love the sweater. I don't know the origin of it. I know I originally got this with a Freddy that was made by a guy named Dark Customs that kind of came and went and disappeared. He was around several years ago, and I don't know what happened to him. But that's his sweater, or at least the one that came with his figure. I don't know if he personally made it or had somebody make it. I don't know. So I apologize if somebody needs credit out there that, I'm not giving it, because I never really knew the origin of the sweater, other than it came from Dark Customs and a figure he was made and offered. Gabriel's open mouth brain sculpt, I have to say, I think is probably one of the most accurate out there. If you actually look at the screen capture, if you look at a screenshot from the film, all right, a screen grab, or whatever you want to call it, of that particular moment that he does this, to me, this is the most accurate expression. Like, this actually looks the most like the movie. If you need reminding, just go back and look at that clip. It's on YouTube, actually. When you have the body, I got the brains moment when he talks to Jesse. There's the brain exposure on this one, which is very, very nice and detailed. Oops, sorry, I'm close up, so I went back to Beto's by accident. The open mouth, the teeth, everything is just really cool, well done. And I did paint app it a little bit. I did go over it and kind of repaint it and touch up a little bit, only because I wanted it to match this one to kind of be a set, because they do kind of go together very nicely. And once again, the sweater and everything like that, I kind of bashed together from other stuff I had, other Freddys I had, and so on. All right, so that's the brain exposed Freddy expression by Gabriel. And again, knocking it out of park, man. I mean, that, like I said, if you really look, I mean, there's other great ones like this, like that one. This one here is great as well, and looks really badass when you put it on the figure with the glove, and even if you make him wear the hat, it looks great. But honestly, and including Beto's, I'm going to say that this one really nails it as far as like how he actually looked in that moment. This is a very accurate interpretation. I got to give kudos to Gabriel, like that. I call it like I see it, just being honest. Of course, I appreciate all variants and all interpretations of it, but that to me really hit a home run, as far as that look. And then of course I have another glove for him that you can see over there, part 2 looking glove, or I guess you could say could pass for a part 2, Could also be a part 1. But that's what he's sporting right now. And then, of course, the pants and shoes, again, I kind of pieced together to kind of complete that figure. So, to me, he complements, you know, the collection and this guy right here. Now, speaking of Gabriel, again, as far as killing it, then he started making part 3 Freddy's, sculpts, I should say. And these two are just phenomenal as far as a part 3. He came out with this one, which, if you can't see Robert Englund in there, you're crazy. I mean, look at that head sculpt. And again, I touched it up just a little bit. I just wanted, just for my own taste, there's nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to add a little extra paint app to it and kind of color, you know, a little pinkish or red in areas just to kind of make it pop. I added a little gloss just to give it that glaze, give it that like sweaty, wet look that he often has. But other than that, I didn't really have to do much of anything here. This sculpt is all Gabriel. The paint apps, the eyes, and the teeth, and the mouth, everything, you know, the sculpture, everything is Gabriel. I just added a little bit over the top. But man, oh man, that is a fantastic, you know, fantastic interpretation of part 3 Freddy. And this sweater and everything else is pretty much like Sideshow or various parts, including the glove. That's a Sideshow part 3 glove. And when I say for Sideshow, I mean the newer part 3 Freddy, not the old one from like the early 2000s. This base right here is kind of interesting. It's magnetized. This is kind of magnetized to the base. This actually came with a part 3 glove that I bought. I could show those in a separate video. It doesn't really work for a 1/6 video, but I have some you know, Freddy glove replicas, and there's this really cool guy. I think his name is Mark. Let me see. Let me look it up really quick while I'm talking to you guys. He makes really cool Freddy replicas from several of the movies. And he did this part 3, and actually from that one, I didn't get it directly from him. I had gotten it from eBay. Trying to quickly go in there and see if I can find his name. Mark Phillips, that's his name, Mark Phillips. He's on Etsy, he's got a store on there. He goes by another name. The store name is something else, I forgot what it's called, but his name is Mark Phillips. Really good guy. Nightmares Unlimited, that's his. I'm looking it up right now. There he is on Etsy. Really good guy. I started chatting with him. I bought like 3 gloves from him. So I had bought this first off eBay, was really impressed with the part 3. So then I went ahead and bought a like a 5 and a 6 from him. I have the NECA part 1, and then I have a part 4 that really looks cool that I got off eBay as well, very cheap. But that one was more for cosplay, like for a costume, because the blades are not metal. They look metal. The rest of the glove is metal, but when it comes down to the blades, they're like doled down to be like a fake, like kind of look like metal, but not really, I guess, to be safe to wear, so you don't accidentally stab or cut somebody. So I have my, you know, like I said, my Freddy collection, my Freddy glove collection as well. They're really cool. But this came with that glove to be a base for the glove. But I said, you know what? It works really cool with the figure. So I'm using it with the figure instead. But again, I always have the option. I want to eventually get the hands that they sell that you could put the glove on with the Freddy, you know, with the Freddy shirt sleeve. I want to get some of those to kind of display the gloves down the road when I have space to actually do that. Then, again, I had this sweater and this outfit laying around. This sweater I've had for a long time. I don't know who made it once again. I don't remember where I got it. Very well done sweater, and it is a Freddy 3. Now, by the way, guys, a lot of people have asked me this, like, why do you, why are you being particular with the sweaters? I want you to know something. For people that may not know this, and this is a pattern that I've picked up over the years. So this is Gabriel's newest part 3. So let's get into that. Now, look at this one. Again, a variant of this one, but oh my God, look at that head sculpt. I had a picture that I posted in the beginning of these vids where I had him standing in my house hallway, and you would swear that Robert Englund was there in person as a one-on-one with one-of-one as Freddy. And again, if you take the hat off, look at the hat. Look at that. And now this one I haven't touched yet. I haven't done any additional paint work. To me, this one's like perfect. That is, with the mouth and the tongue coming out. And there's a glove that I have with it. The sweater. Now the sweater I had already that I'm using with it. And oh man, I just can't stop looking at that sculpt. I admire this sculpt. Like these two, like he's just getting better and better. He has a part 1 as well that's on the way. I ordered one. He sent me a duplicate of this by accident that I'm going to resell and then kind of, you know, make it up to him, kind of even things with him. But I'm going to get his newest part 1 that he's making too. That looks phenomenal. But anyway, a really quick trick to tell the difference between a part 3 sweater and a part 2 sweater, right? I'm not going into 4 and all those others. I don't really know. But from 1 to 3, they're very distinct. Now, if you notice, part 3 sweaters, the green stripe on the top always goes right up to the neckline. And if you notice there too, right? The neckline. Now, If you notice with part 2, the green stripe does not go all the way up to the neckline. The green stripe goes up high enough, but there's still red above it with the neck. If you notice all the part 2s I have here, that is the case. Okay, there's Beto's, or not Beto's, but Beto's does the same thing. I know because I've had original Beto in the past, and I've looked up pictures where you'll still see some red by the shoulders and the neckline, where when you go to part 3, you see the green is higher and almost right up to the neck. Very minor detail, not really a big deal or something that would really make a difference at the end of the day, but there is that subtle difference. So that's kind of the rule of thumb I went with using these sweaters for these guys versus these sweaters, and stuff for those guys. So that's kind of my, any sweater here, you notice it has the red and a little space between the green and the red, before it gets to the neckline. So that's pretty much the difference. But anyway, guys, this is my very extensive Freddy collection as it stands right now. So I'm pretty much all set with 2 and 3 and loving everything about it. And kudos once again to the guys involved. Brutus Customs, Gabriel, obviously Beta Motali, and so on. Very good work here. And, my Freddy, the desire to have Freddies or really great looking Freddies in my collection have been fulfilled, at least for now. All right, guys, I'm now going to switch to, to the interview to show you the rest of Dan and Tanila. And then when we come back, I got a lot left to show you in figure-wise. So stay tuned after I show you the video, the rest of the interview. And then please stay put because I'm going to have a great amount of figures to show you to kind of wrap this up and main event at the end of this part, okay? All right. All right, so I just picked up recording again while we wait for Tinela to reveal the last prototype or figure they're working on right now. Dan, let's talk Dutch from Predator.
Dutch from Predator.
Yes.
The mud version. So that's actually probably one of the first figures that I did because I love Predator so much. And I've seen some people do Muddy Dutch, but I didn't see it done at the level that I wanted it. Not talking bad about anybody else, but I love that character so much that it has to be done lifelike.
Right.
So
right.
Just the process in there, and I have a YouTube video on it. It was so complex. All the weapons that are done in real wood, like the bow and arrow, the dio resin, and it was probably one of the best learning experiences I ever had making a figure.
Right.
Because you're working with silicone and all that. And I'm very proud of it. There are very few of them. But that gives you a clue to what I'm doing now. Before I linked up with Tinela, I was doing a full custom Dutch, like where I actually sculpted the body of Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's a 3D printed dio, be my own head, and all that. So that is happening now.
Wow.
And now that I'm linked up with Tinela, she can do the pants.
Yes, right. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Dave could do like the arrows or the grenades and real metal and stuff like that.
Yes.
So it definitely adds a lot more. And now it's going to be a full 3D printed custom body, muddied everything, custom pants, posable, 3D dio. Don't have to worry about the silicone breaking eventually or anything like that.
Right.
And that I will keep exclusive, very limited.
Wow.
That one I will.
Now the one
I might even say it might be already sold out. To the point, just by talking behind the scenes, I might have 1 or 2 left. But
now the one that you sent me to show, what was the original body for that? Like, what was the?
That was a Fison M35.
The Fison M35. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Or M34. It was one of those two. I think I went 34 because the 35 is a little bit too big.
Okay.
On the legs, but one of those two, and just to find stuff to stick to silicone in is nearly impossible. There's a combination on that body. Probably 4 different chemicals between resin to 2 different types of glues and actually stuff to help stick, because I actually include certain baby powders in the chemicals because silicone, you need baby powder for certain things. So it's one of those things where it was very meticulous. I actually stayed on a video chat with my friend going through it because he was like a Dutch fanatic.
Right.
We were going through it like, oh, this will work. So I think I only did 5 of those 6.
Wow.
That's it. So.
And tell me about the dio. The dio is supposed to
The dio is really fun. That's actually my favorite type of dio to do is vegetation, brush, or organic things. I absolutely love those things. It's specifically like jungle scenes. So the dio is like actual, like real trees that are encased in resin that are never going to rot anymore. It's got real liquid resin to represent like the pond, the last battle scene that he's got.
Right.
So I that's like my favorite dios to ever make is vegetation.
Yeah.
And now that we can do it in the program, it's just fun as hell.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing looking. And for all those watching, you'll see a review of mine yet. I don't have it in my possession yet. By the time you guys see this, I'll either have it or we'll be showing it shortly after, depending on the timing.
It right now.
Yeah, so that's cool. So we'll look forward to that.
It needs its own box. It's big.
I can imagine. So that's cool. Tanila is still working on showing her last sneak peek.
I mean, I can talk on a few things.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to talk something that there's a few runs that I have to maintain with Macabre because we already announced them. The Freddy 2.
Yes.
Which I showed you on.
Yes.
With the bust of Jesse with Freddy coming out of the chest.
Which is incredible.
That's still being worked on. Going to be shown real soon, the prototype. Finishing the Netflix. And we have a full Vecna from Stranger Things with the massive stair dio case that I've showcased already. And it's going to be full silico body.
Wow, that's...
So that's those runs we will uphold 100%. And we have other things too.
That's incredible.
Another run now that this is where we're breaking the news. Nobody else knows this.
Okay.
Is the Shocker with Odell.
Oh, wow.
We're doing Wes Craven's Shocker.
Okay.
And it's going to be Tinela's doing the clothing.
Okay.
It's going to be the full Shocker. And the DX, or however we do it, is going to be him coming out of the TV in full clear resin with a light up feature that could be electrical and stuff like that.
Are you kidding me? Wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
So if people are interested in the Shocker, hit up Odell. People are already hitting up Odell about it and hitting up me. So I don't know how many we're going to do. We're going to talk to Odell and figure it out. I would like to keep it a little bit on the limited 10 and under if we do a little bit more, whatever. But that will be a very, very unique run that I don't think anybody's ever thought of or will do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It just to ask, what else is it going to be? Is he going to be in the chair or like the electric chair?
I could absolutely add the chair. So that's what one thing. People can have the chair if they want. It's just if people are okay with a little bit of extra calculator price. We're trying to keep it kind of basic, but if people want to go that extra mile,
right?
There's a unanimous vote in the group chat.
Right.
You guys will get the chair. You guys can have. There is no limitations. It's actually what you guys want to pay.
Right.
There's no limitations.
Okay.
I can do whatever you want. It's just what you want to pay.
Sure. No, absolutely makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, obviously. But the TV thing.
And then people, if they want to pay, they got it. One thing that I showed you, Ron, was the 1/3 scale statues that I'm doing, like the Freddy 2, the Jason 7.
Yeah.
So we will be offering those too as well eventually with Tinela doing the clothing. So.
Wow. So everybody,
there's like nothing that's unachievable.
Start saving up, everybody. A lot of goodies to come.
Like, you guys need to slow down. You guys are, I can't keep up. I kind of feel for you, but it's like people complain that everybody in this hobby is super slow, but then they complain when we're super fast.
Right. No, absolutely.
It's like, guys, eventually we'll land a mediocre. All right.
Eventually. Yeah. Well, touching on that, as far as going too fast, whatever. Do you offer payment plans or things that help people?
Yeah, we offer payment plans. Actually, we finished the escape run 3 months faster than was estimated, and I uphold the payment plan. I hang on to the piece till you're done doing the payment plan, even though it's finished, and then I ship it when it's done. So somebody's paying me, and they still got another 3 months to go. 2 people are paying me, and that's not a problem for me.
Right.
I maintain my word. You don't got to pay.
Yeah, layaway. It's a layaway concept.
That's it. We got no problem with it. As long as you keep your word, we keep ours. We're flush.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. All right, Tanila's got that I'm ready look. I think she's ready.
That was called a spot.
Yes.
You see things. This is something really, really special for me. There are actually 2 things that we are doing, Daniel, isn't it? 2 very special things to me.
Okay.
Which one is going to show you now? I loved it. And I want to say thank you to Dave Parker. He's an amazing person. Thank you so much.
He's the director of this movie.
Right,
Dave Parker's
right.
the director.
Yeah.
A really, really nice person, and I hope we won't disappoint him. This figure is really sweet to me, and I put all my love in it, and I know Daniel did the same. Behind what I'm to show you now, I'm going to show you just the clothing, nothing else. Dave is being extremely busy with tons of weaponry for him, and actually is doing it for the whole run in one go, the weapons.
Wow.
So he doesn't lose time making 1 and 2, and after that starting on the run. Now he does them all and he's done, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
On this one, I'm actually really, really particular about everything on this one. I'm really happy. It's a very complex outfit, honestly.
Oh yeah.
He's got on the jacket. He's got 4 working pockets.
Wow, look at that.
One. It's got obvious one on the other side as well. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Right there. Quick. And those chest ones as well. Do you see them? Yeah.
Oh yeah. On the
That's,
sides
yeah.
there, yeah. Yeah, look at that.
You just barely see them in the movie. There are a few other details we picked up on the way.
Yes.
The trousers. Oh my God. They are one of the most time-consuming trousers I ever done since I'm doing 1/6.
Wow.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 pockets on the trousers. He's got.
Jeez.
They are all fully working. They are.
Those are
He's
cargo
got those
pants
ones
times 2.
He's got those ones here on the inside where you put the hands on, right?
Yeah. Now, did you get? How did you get? What was your like? Was it hard to find source to figure out what's accurate here? Like, did you have to get like? Was it easy to find pictures of it, like from the actual clothing, or?
That's where Dave Parker came and helped.
Okay. That's what I was kind of getting at there. Okay.
Dave Parker really helped us with this. He's an absolutely amazing person, honestly, and he's really helped me. We finished what's it called, the thing at the back that holds the pickaxe.
The pouch thing that he has.
Yeah.
With the things here on the chest as well,
the strapping,
and it's patterns of I don't, for my personal reasons.
Right.
I don't want to show you too much, but.
It looks incredible though. The clothing looks incredible, so I could just imagine. And I know
the
Dan.
Head sculpt's done already. I hinted to the head sculpt.
I've seen it.
I did the concept baby face for Rob, and that was actually the prototype clothing to that. So it right tells you we've changed this outfit 4 times to get it accurate.
Wow.
That's one of the things.
Wow, that's incredible. Hey, since we're on the topic of babyface, but me and Dan were chatting about this. Did the director ever give any hint of ever continuing or doing another movie with this character, or is it staying a one-off?
I talked to him about that, and he says there isn't because it's too much money to redo it, and the rights are with the current company that owns it, Miramax or whatever it is.
Right, I think it is Miramax, yeah.
And they don't want to do anything with it. He would do it, but Miramax
really.
It's just a dead product at this point, so it's unique.
Yeah, no, definitely unique.
He would love to continue the story, trust me.
Yeah. Well, Miramax just won the rights to Halloween, from what I heard. New movies and television series, from what I heard.
Yep.
So that should be interesting. But but Babyface, like I said, I've seen it. It's a great movie. Like you said, it's just, I guess you just appreciate it as a one-off. But the character is so. The character is great. I mean, the look of the killer is amazing and unique, and definitely makes for a fun figure for sure. I mean, so I'm sure that's going to look fantastic when complete. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So you guys, you're cooking up a lot of stuff in the kitchen there. So this is amazing stuff.
I want to say thank you to Daniel as well for this figure, because it means a lot to me. Long short story. Daniel, I'm being very grateful that you accepted to do this one, and thank you so much. Means a lot to me, and the head is absolutely beautiful, and the mask I've seen it's going
awesome.
to be something really, that figures comes up in my collection that never leaves. And there is another very something special to me, which I'm not going to show it, but I'm just going to mention to me. There is an outfit I did, oh God, many years ago. person sold it to someone else, and the new person who's got that figure keep asking me, "Are you going to do another jacket? Are you going to do another jacket?" I said, "Not really, not really, not really." And now I'm confident. I'm really confident that I can do the best Darkman that I can at this moment.
Oh, okay. All right. Look at that.
So
Nice.
Darkman.
Yeah.
Raimi's Darkman is on the list.
On the list too. You know,
And I'm
Tanila.
telling you, it's gonna have a lot.
Wow. All right. Well, that's very exciting stuff to look forward to, and I really am honored and appreciate that you shared all this with me for my video. Definitely makes it more special. I wanted to ask you one more thing, Tinila, while I have you, just to maybe wrap things up. Can you talk a little bit about how I know you were involved with American Horror Story, right, with the Twisty the Clown figure, right?
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did you get connected with them to get that figure on the show? I always wanted to ask that, so I'm going to use the opportunity now while I have you to ask.
Hold on a minute. I can show you something.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Hold it.
Sure. So I'm back, and Tanila's going to show a bonus item here for talking about Twisty the Clown.
It's something special. I need to really finish it up and hint to someone. I need some boots, by the way. This is American Horror Story, how it started. I get a message, left a phone number. I'm Mike McCash. I'm on the makeup department. Can I have some outfits for 1/6 accessories? Mike McCash is working on the actual American Horror Story set. He's doing the makeup there. Really nice guy.
Right.
If you see this.
I hope he does.
And he's very, very secretive. Yes. I've done for them what they asked us, the outfits. Been a team behind as well, the sculptor, and most sculptors painted it, and the head sculpt. Oh gosh, I'm missing the name of the sculptor. He's a really good guy. I'm missing it. I'll remember, and then you can put it on the bottom.
Yes, definitely. I'll post here.
And I did, and I said, look, if you can do something for me. And he said, yeah, no problem. And actually, Mike McCash weathered the outfit.
Look at that.
The same as you weathered in the series.
Yes. Wow.
And extra special for myself, is being signed by.
Oh wow.
John Carroll Lynch.
Wow, and that is the guy who played him on the show. That is crazy. Look at that. That's amazing.
So actually, I have a signature on one of my outfits. It's unbelievable. It's
that's crazy.
Big privilege. And I own still one of these to someone, which a few friends they helped me to get the head ready. I'll give them a shout out. That's the head. That's not my head. That's the head for a friend of mine.
Nice. That looks crazy. That looks crazy good.
And I have to put up build the figure for him because he's really nice.
Nice. That is beautiful.
Really nice person as well. And he said, Tinela, I did that mask.
Nice.
And we were a couple of years ago, and he still doesn't have it. Shame on you, Tinela.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I'll still keep my promise, and I'll promise I'll make the figure and I'll send it to him.
Now, are you in possession of the figure they used on the TV show, or is that in somebody else's hands?
No. That's with Mike.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That's with Mike, and on that one, he's got real gloves. I did.
Okay.
In some of our project, we'll be tackling some new stuff.
Nice. Yes, nice. Well, I appreciate sharing that story and that outfit. That's great. And yeah, I always wanted to ask you that question about that. So I'm glad that could be part of this vid. But I guess at this point, unless you guys have anything else you want to announce or say, we can wrap it up here. But I want to thank you, both of you, very much for sharing all this and making my video extra special.
And thank you for having us on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no,
to support us.
absolutely. And I look forward to handing a lot of my money over to you in the very near future. Yeah, yeah. And there'll be plenty more, I'm sure, because you guys are rocking it. You're going through these projects, and like you said, timely manner, organized. Nobody's aging too much while waiting, but enough to be.
One thing is always like when artists take too long.
Yeah.
People lose the interest in the figure once it goes 3 years.
Well, yeah, yeah, and
I try not to let people lose interest.
Well, not only that, but we've all experienced that. Sometimes you're in a good moment in your life, right? You have the extra money to spend, and then a year or 2 years or 3 years pass, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, by the way, it's ready. Hand over the money. Well, right now I'm strapped. I don't have the money, so like it's good to be able to pace and stay organized. Like you said, payment plans are help, and having reasonable prices.
When the artist asks for full payment, and then you don't get the.
And then you don't get.
That's the worst part.
Correct. I think a pre-order concept or down payment, like you said, is fair, works, and then being able to plan, accordingly. So I think that's great, and it's a great business model. And I think you guys are doing a great job, and thank you. And I look forward to seeing your future work and possibly reviewing a lot of them in the near future. So, good luck and continued success.
I want to say thank you, Ron, as well. It's been a privilege being invited on your yearly videos. And thank you so much. We know each other for quite a few years.
Absolutely. A lot of your items have been in my Halloween vid. So yes, I appreciate continuing the tradition year to year. So that's awesome. And Dan, like I said, very excited to see what you have in store. I know, as well as other things, 1/3 stuff, whatever, I know you got a lot up your sleeve. So looking forward to that.
That was supposed to be top secret, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, he brought it up before, so it's fair is fair. But yeah, I'm sure as time goes on, we'll get more, details and previews and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm very excited. So thank you guys again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
So much.
All right, guys. Well, I really hope you enjoyed that 3-part interview that I broke up to spread across the 3 parts of this special edition. And big thanks again to Dan and Tanila for participating with that and being part of the video. I really hope, I wish them the best, and I'm going to show more of their stuff in the future, I'm sure. They're not going anywhere, so stay tuned for that. But I did want to get back to what this video is about, and that is showing cool figures. So let's take a break from the Gallactible stuff for a minute, but we're going to be getting back to Gallactibles because I have a lot more to show to wrap this vid up. But I wanted to take a break from that for a second, show some other stuff here. And as you know, I've shown Candyman before. That was coordinated and done by Odell. Wanted to kind of throw him back in here real quick for a cameo because I really feel like he fits with this crop of characters right here. Now, as you know, from here all the way to the right, this is Jeepers Creepers. Basically, this is an older version I have of him that I had for a bit. I had a couple variations of him that I bought from Creep Customs, and they've been around for a bit doing, the Creeper. And this was one I had gotten a while back. The clothing is from the first version I had gotten. I got one of his very first versions, and the jacket and everything in the outfit were really cool. The Duster has more of a leather coat type of feel or look to it than his later stuff. Then I had gotten another one from him that was kind of like a new and improved version of this. And then I got a part 3 version of him that I think I showed a while ago where he had the red shirt on. So I still wanted to utilize this and this awesome cross that, the Scarecrow stand that the set comes with, the DX set comes with, which is the newest one here. And that's his newest sculpt, which looks incredible. And with the white hair in the back, the whole deal. And it comes with the wings that you could see that are removable. There's a hole in his back so you could sport it with the wings and not the wings. Outfit and the clothing and the dust are all still accurate to the part 1. Or this, I guess you can go with part 2 as well if you are into more of the winged look, right? Because he did use the wings more in part 2. So, you know, 50-50 here, but excellent outfit, excellent details overall. Added stuff is the, you know, his other weapons. I do have his axe in the box still that, you know, he most famously sports. That's accurate. These little boomerang ninja styles homemade stars that he throws with them, right? Where he kills people. This is a nice little add-on that Creep Customs made for the DX sets, and he made me one as well, which is like the ripped off face. I guess you could say of the main character that, you know, he kind of finally gets him at the end. You kind of see the face there. Because he wanted his peepers, right? Jeepers, creepers, got to get those peepers or whatever. So, nice little add-in accessory there. And once again, all done by Creep Customs. And then what I did was I took the ropes that were on his hands here, and I put them on here, and I utilized the new hat that comes with that one, because I kind of like this one better with no hat, especially with the wing look. I think the wing look is the way to go with that one. And so I took the new hat and incorporated it with one of the older versions. There's the crow in it that comes with the cross that you can put on it. And there's like a spot on there for his feet to kind of hook in, which is very cool. And I basically used, he came with, you know, the boots, but then he came with the non-boot version, his feet showing. So I used that on this figure and transplanted that over, and the hat and the ropes on the wrist to kind of simulate this look where he's on the cross. So this is an awesome base for that, as you can see there. That's the base. So this is really a really nice touch here, and really kind of works into the Jeepers Creepers lore perfectly with that scene when he's kind of playing possum and pretending that he's just a scarecrow before he comes off and gets his prey. So I utilized that as the second look. Now this guy here, he's on a stand too right now that I put him on, different stand. And so here to get into this more, so, you know, very good articulation. There's the claws and the fingers. Get in here a little bit, kind of zoom in so you can see. Very cool paintwork. There's the head sculpt, the newer head sculpt up close. It's got the detail on the top. They'll get like the kind of like a under skin detail there. It's kind of cool. Looks like we're looking at his brain. The hair and stuff, the clothing, the coat, the duster's got some nice details on it with the buttons, the whole deal. And then the boots on the bottom. He stands pretty good on his own as well as being on the stand. But with the wings, he becomes a little more heavier. So let me just take the wings to see if I could do this one-handed here. Take the wings out here. Okay, there we go. So I got the wings out. So as you can see here, there's the hole in the back. Okay, for if you want to prop them with the wings. But if you don't want to do that, you just kind of cover it with the coat there. See, I'm a little blurry right now. Let me go back up here. All right. See, and then there's the hole's covered up. So now he could just be a regular, you know, Jeepers Creepers. You can put the hat on him, and you can kind of pose him without the wings if you want. So let me put him over here. Let me put him back here for a second without knocking everything over. There we go. All right. Try to zoom out here for a second. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. My phone camera got stuck in the zoom mode, so I couldn't zoom out there. So I had to stop the recording and pick it up again. But anyway, so there's the wings, and there's the nub. It kind of looks like a neck adapter or something like that that would normally be used for a leg joint or a neck joint for a head that he utilized there. And the wings are sort of like latexy. They're bendable. Kind of feels like a Halloween prop or something you'd get like at a Spirit Halloween store or what have you. But it's really cool. See, you can kind of flex it. Kind of point it up if you want. So a really nice accessory there. So let me put that aside here for now. Put that down here. Okay, get that out of the way. So again, whether he has the wings or not, really cool. And then just to show you, if you wanted to take the hat off here, take the hat off this guy. Hold on. Let me put this down for a second. Okay. And that's what he would kind of look like. There's what he kind of looked like with the hat. So the hat is pretty big. And like I said, kind of works, but I kind of like him without the hat. And I think the hat works better kind of on this one. See, and that's the older sculpt that he did. Also very cool. See, a little different. But I think he works better with that hat on and for the scarecrow look. So there you go. Also wanted to add, I wanted to show this too, that I'll edit in. But this is a cool accessory that was available, I think, a few years ago. which is like a body, looks like a body all bloodied up and bandaged up, wrapped up, right, with rope and twine and a body bag. And it was made as a general accessory, I think. And my boy Ricardo Guzman, another shout out to him, he had one of these. And I asked him if he was, wanted to sell it, because I remember he'd had it when I did the video at his house a couple of years ago. So he was like, yeah. He goes, I'll sell it. And he sold it to me because I felt like it's a perfect accessory that goes along with Jeepers Creepers. Because if you remember the scenes in the church, or when the kid sees them throwing the bodies down the tunnel, right, down the tunnel, the drain that's near the church, it looked exactly like these, right, they're all wrapped up and stuff. So goes perfect with the Jeepers Creepers figures as like an added prop. So I wanted that to go along with him. So I just wanted to kind of show that too and kind of throw that in there. So again, thanks to Ricardo for hooking me up with this body. Awesome stuff. Now, the reason why, again, I have Candyman here is, again, this is a very excellent sculpt if you guys haven't already seen this. This is basically, Tony Todd, and this is a classic. But the reason why I'm showing him again here with this group is because this kind of represented the next generation of horror icons that I feel. The 90s, right? The 90s and the early 2000s kind of brought a new breed in. As people like Jason and Freddy and maybe even at times Michael Myers were taking a break, these guys kind of stepped in, and there was new franchises forming with Wishmaster, one being in the theater, then a couple of like 2 or 3 direct-to-video releases. Candyman had 3 movies altogether, and then a remake, obviously, down the road, more recent. And then you had Jeepers Creepers that was coming up strong with the first and second one being theatrical releases. The third one, and I think just recently they did a new one, the Jeepers Creepers, I believe it's called Jeepers Creepers Reborn or something like that. I haven't actually seen that one yet, but definitely will check it out when I can. So, in the 90s, in the early to mid 90s to the late 90s and into the 2000s, these were the guys, these were the guys that kind of took over the genre when, Jason was taking a break and Freddy was on vacation and all that good stuff. And Michael Myers had its moments where Michael would kind of pop in and out. He had a sequel here, a sequel there, but he was kind of like not as relevant in the 90s until they started kind of bringing him back for the anniversaries, with Jamie Lee Curtis with H2O and stuff like that. Then it kind of picked up again, later on. So I just feel like it was really cool to show these guys together and have Candyman in sort of like the group shot here with everybody else. Wishmaster here, this is Creep Customs' latest, also done by Creep Customs. Everything here except for Candyman is Creep Customs. And this is really cool. When I saw this, I was like, oh, this is unique. I have to have this. There's the ruby in his hand, right? Make your wishes. And this is removable. This is a prop that you can put in his hand or not. The gem, the jewel, whatever you want to call it. And this is the Jinn, right? The genie that gives you grants you his wishes. He's the Wishmaster. Make your wishes. And the details on this figure is fantastic. The armor, the outfit. It does suffer in articulation a little bit because of the make of this figure, the way it is and the outfit, but totally worth it. I mean, it's really more of a pose, a museum pose type of figure. The base that comes with it kind of matches the look and feel with this like cement kind of base here, cement bottom here, floor bottom. Look at the designs here in the outfit. I mean, there is a lot of good. Oops, sorry, he dropped his little ruby jewel, but I'll get it back. That's okay. You can see here that the details are really cool in there. I mean, Creep Customs really did nice with the detail. And here's the cape. The cape is very nice. And look at the details here with this like spine-like thing that comes down from the neck. That's part of the cape, right? Really nice detail here. Really cool. Look at that. Look at that. Really nice. And here's the back of his head. And again, really well done figure. I was very impressed. As soon as I saw he made this, he made like a prototype, or he made one that he sold to somebody else, and then he had a second one that he was able to offer me. So really cool, really well done. A lot of nice work here. And here is the card that came with it, sort of like the COA. So you can see, let me see if I can get this in here where it's not blurry. Certificate of Authenticity. This is an original custom by Creep Customs team. There you go. And there's the original movie poster. So very nice. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to kind of show these and kind of give Creep. There's my Jason 7 making a cameo on the back again. He's kind of saying, I'm coming back. I'm still in large and in charge here. Don't get too comfortable. It'd be kind of cool to see these guys versus some of the classic characters. That would be awesome. So there you go, guys. So there's some Jeepers Creepers action. Candyman, Wishmaster. Once again, shout out to Odell. Great job with the work and everybody involved with that. The tailoring on the coat and everything is fantastic. The hook, Like I said, I wasn't really, he was kind of here for the ride here as a cameo. I have a whole review vid, check it out on my channel, where I review that, plus the Helen that it came with, and the alternate look with the open mouth with the bees and all that. But had to have him here as part of this group shot. And but shout out to Creep Customs, really great stuff here. I look forward to future work of theirs, and I'm still a customer. I'm a fan of theirs, so really cool stuff. All right, guys, moving right along. All right, guys, so I'm back and had to show this and sneak this into the vid. Not exactly horror related, but definitely could be considered sci-fi horror, especially the original. This thing, when I took it out of the box, blew me away. And before I do the full reveal here, I want to say, you just heard Dan talking about this in today's final part of the interview. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get it in time or if I was going to put it in this vid because, quite honestly, it doesn't really fit the rest of the theme of the figures I'm showing. But once I opened this thing up and took a look at it, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And I definitely am going to show it. And I got to be honest with you, I struggled with making this the main event because it's that good. It's that impressive. And it blew me away far more in person than even me seeing it, in his hands or in his videos. I knew it was going to be impressive. I saw it, but I had no idea how impressive it was going to be in person. And the minute I took it out of the box, I knew that I was going to at least put it in this vid. So technically, there's going to be the main event after this, but I got to be honest with you. This is definitely an honorable mention because this would be definitely worth its own video. Or I guess I could say, its own video for its own review. And, I guess since it is a little older and, Gallactibles, aka Dan, already did show it and review it on his own channel, I wasn't going to make it the main event last one to show, but I really struggled with it, and you heard him talk about it. So I had to throw it in there. Once I was impressed, once I was so impressed with it, and after he mentioned it in the review, I had to show it since I did get it in time. And I'm literally filming this on the last night before I'm finishing this up and uploading it in time for the holiday, for Halloween. So I wrestled with the idea of, do I do my own video of this separate, or do I get this in? And I'm like, screw it, I'm going to get it in. As you know, my Halloween vids don't always show horror. They do show other, I do show other characters and other things as well. And I just, I'm blown away by it. I mean, it's massive. It's detailed. I mean, you could see the water, the look of the muddy water. The figure itself. I mean, look at the weapons. There's the homemade staff he made with the dagger at the end, right? Look at the watch. Look at the watch on the wrist that he wore, all muddied up on his wrist. Look at the mud and the details and the dirt and the grime on the body. Look at the wound right there with the blood. And then, of course, the face with the mud on it and the hair and all that. I mean, good God. Good God is all I could say. I don't think I've ever been sent anything, or I don't think I've ever been in the presence of something so dramatic and dominant in its shelf presence and the amount of work and detail. I mean, he wasn't kidding when he said that he went all out with this, or he truly had love for this character, and that he loves doing these type of environments. I mean, you can clearly see the love he has for this. I mean, everything he did here. I mean, I wish you can see it in person like I'm seeing it right now, because that's truly the only real way you can appreciate it, is to actually witness it the way I'm witnessing it right now. Look at, I mean, this camera can't film enough of the details that's going on in this display. So as you heard him talk about the details about what he did here, the plaque that he got to go with it, he mentions all that and gives the shout outs in the interview you just heard. And then he said he used here a Fison body. He wasn't sure if it was the 34 or 35, but he thinks it was the 34 because the 35 was slightly too big. Whichever one he used, it's perfect. you know, to capture the, you know, the stature of Schwarzenegger and the muscle and how big he was at the time, the mass and the muscleness and the definition. Look, I said, look at the weapons. Look at the bow and arrow, the homemade bow and arrow he's holding there that I put in his other hand there. Very detailed. And then he has the additional torches and stuff right here. He does have a torch too that he said he's going to send me. He couldn't find at the moment, and he was going to send it to me to complete this because you may not know this, but I'm buying this, and after seeing it in person, there's no way I wouldn't. I'm a huge Predator fan, and to be honest with you, I always wanted to do or acquire a Muddy Dutch, and to be honest with you, this display and this diorama is so good that it doesn't even make you miss the fact that the actual Predator is not in this display. It would definitely be great to add him. I have some Predators in my collection. I don't have the original one. I had sold that a while ago. But if they ever came out with a new and improved one now, I think I'd have more motivation to buy one to add to this. But it's not really needed. That's what's interesting. This is all about Dutch. And obviously it's Schwarzenegger's movie. He's the star. So, you know, the Predator is like almost secondary. And, you know, damn. All I can say is damn. I'm going to see if I can pick him up here for a second. So you can see, I don't want to, you know, I want to, he warned me to be a little, you know, careful because, you know, it is a little fragile. Not fragile, but in the sense that, you know, he did, you know, cover this stuff and seal it in, but, you know, he wants me to be careful with it. I'm going to try to grab it from the head here for a second. I just want you to see the back of it. That's really my goal here, okay? And I'm going to be very careful. But I got to tell you something. I mean, even though he said to be careful, it is on there pretty good. I mean, I get it. Don't do dramatic poses or do anything that might, you know, ruin it or tear it or anything like that. But it is on there, but very good. And so far, since I've had it and opened it and everything like that, nothing has come off of it or you know, no damage or nothing has happened. It is well done. It's, you know, the dirt and the grime and the mud is baked in there. It's incredible. I'm not, you know, I'm not just, I'm not exaggerating. I mean, it's amazing. And he said he's going to do a newer version. So I can only imagine, you know, what the newer version is going to be like when he collaborates with Tanila, you know, talking about her doing the clothes and stuff and the pants and all that. And doing an actual custom body, he said he's going to do. Look at that. Come here. I'm here. Come get me. I'm here. You got to love the old Schwarzenegger movies. Between this, Commando, Terminator, you know, The Running Man, True Lies, Kindergarten Cop. I mean, you know, whatever he did back then, it's like 9 times out of 10, it was gold. You know, he just did some great stuff, especially in the early days in the 80s. The Predator sequels were good. Some were better than others, but I mean, they never captured the true spirit and quality of this first one, you know. Loved Jesse Ventura in it. I always dreamed of having like the whole team in 1/6 scale, you know, and I've seen people do custom ones, but it would really be cool to have that done proper at some point. Carl Weathers, you know, Jesse Ventura, you know, and so on. But, man. But if you had to have one, this is the one, and this is the look to have to truly capture the spirit and the tone and the best iconic moment of that film. Look at that. Dan, I bow to you, man. Hats off. No exaggeration, man. I'm going to take a moment to gather myself, and then we'll move on with the main event here. Unbelievable. One more look there. Look at that. Just look at that. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. It looks like there's a real jungle forest like in my room. It's incredible. It's amazing. Great work. Okay, I'll be back. All right, guys. Well, here we are. We are at the end of the final chapter. And what better way than to have a family of Jasons like this lined up to kind of end the theme of this 3-part event. And let's face it, when it comes to iconic characters, Jason definitely wins the year for my vid. I have a few more things to show you here, and I'm going to end it with some main event stuff from Gallactibles. But I wanted to show you a couple of the things that I've been cooking up too, again. And we'll get into that one last in the middle there. First off, I just wanted to show you my upgraded Jason Takes Manhattan custom. This has been something I've showed before in the past that started out as years ago as a something that was done by that guy, Creations on Earth, and he used to do Jasons, and he did a pretty decent one here with the clothing and all that. I just kind of weathered it further, kind of broadened the shoulders a little bit, tried to improve the overall stature of him to give it more of that Kane Hodder look. Custom part 8, base there, display base. Always really liked this figure. I really like how he did it. The only thing, like I said, the only thing that I felt needed upgrading was the mask and the head sculpt at the time. So the mask is obviously one done by Oz, A-U-Z. He does a fantastic job with the masks, as you know. I have a few of his masks in other versions, but this one's outstanding, and this one really captures Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason 8 really well, down to every little detail. The rivets, the paintwork, the scratches, the yellowish coloring, everything. The head sculpt was done by, I forgot who it was. He did this as like a bust, but you're able to kind of convert it into a head sculpt. And I do have here, sorry that the camera's moving around a little bit, I'm reaching with my other hand here. This was the original guy that had done Drained Customs, Certificate of Authenticity. I got this a while ago. And if you see there, that's kind of what the head sculpt looked like. Now, it was cool, but it wasn't like exactly screen accurate completely. It was his own take on it. So I was always kind of happy with it, but at the same time not. So I repainted it a bit, and what I did, no disrespect, but I re-sculpted and kind of filled in the eye over here on this side to kind of give it more of the traditional look, the way he looks, or other people have interpreted the look. So if you notice the difference here, I have older pictures too I can show you, but if you see the way the eye kind of dipped up there, I kind of went over that and re-sculpted it and kind of evened it out more with the other eye to kind of give it less of that like he's raising the Rock's eyebrow there look, if you know what I mean. So that's what I tweaked, and then I repainted it a little bit, recolored it a little bit to kind of try to give it more of that, more traditional look that we're used to, or the more screen accurate look, I guess you could say. But otherwise, it's a great sculpt. I mean, it's a great job in his own right. I mean, definitely a different take or interpretation on it. With the way he did the mouth, the teeth, it's got still got the goopy eye on the other side there. The damage, the brains, or the under scalp look, the ripped off scalp look on the top. So it's all there. It's all still there, just like before. And I just kind of improved on it a little bit. So I'm happy with it. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's obviously better Jason Takes Manhattans, and there'll be others, I'm sure, in the future as well. But for now, especially with the mask on, really happy with him. And of course, the custom guitar that also was made by Creations on Earth back in the day. So nice and cool accessory. The gloves, everything is all there. It's all there. So pretty nice work there done. All right, so just wanted to show that. Then over here, I wanted to show, again, on a sideshow base, just for the sake of having something to hold on. This was something that started out, the torch came with another Roy I had that was done by CC Creations, and a collaboration, with the head sculpt and him doing the coveralls and such. It was a great work. But then I came across this figure that I got parts from, again, Isaac. I mentioned him before. Emily Isaac is the profile name. And he was selling this with a few others. So I showed you the parts that I used, once again, over there to make the Jason, the Freddy versus Jason, right? So there was also in that set others, like there was a Jason 4 and other ones in this one. So I kind of mixed it up, and I used his mask, which I really liked. He states he made the mask. I don't know for sure, who made the mask or what the make of the mask is or where it came from. But he did it and weathered it and painted it and, You know, the only thing I did was I added rivets to it. There was no rivets on the strap, so I did that. I added the rivets. So I did that, and then the body has a sculpted neck. It's a nice body, and it was, I think he originally intended it, Isaac originally intended it for the concept Freddy versus Jason that he had sold me, that I turned into, like I said, that one, and made it more of a traditional Freddy versus Jason. And then I used this body on this one because he had a magnetic system with another head sculpt for Roy. And I wanted to kind of bash this myself a little bit. The coveralls were fantastic. I love the coveralls. I believe he states that these are Trick or Treat Studio ones, I think he said, or something that he just weathered and kind of transformed it into Roy coveralls. And then I used the torch, like I said, which is the flare, I should say, from the other figure I had. And then I took the head sculpt from that one, which was technically a One's Customs head sculpt. And then I kind of worked it into this figure instead. So kind of upgrading the body, you know, with the upgraded body, with the coveralls. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out now. So I feel like I kind of like bashed together, you know, a couple of the best of both worlds into one, if that makes sense. So, you know, I really like the mask. I really like the One's Custom sculpt there instead. And then I like the sculpted neck, you know, really cool. He had like subtle blood stains. He did a great job there, Isaac. And again, the coveralls are really cool. The coveralls are accurate, really nice. There's the shoes. So everything's really done to hands. Everything's really cool. So I kind of just bashed it together to kind of try to make my ultimate Roy, okay? So just wanted to kind of share that with you guys real quick. And the last thing I wanted to share from me is, you guys have seen this before. I've done a custom Jason Lives. But the two things I upgraded since I've last showed it that I wanted to kind of show again here a little bit is the mask, which I'll explain that history of that in a minute, and also the custom arm I made, utilizing one of these arms that came. It's a severed arm that came with a set. If you guys remember, I forgot. It's like Screaming or something. But they made like a severed limb set that came with like an arm, feet, whatever. So I took that and then I kind of repainted it here. Got a camo shirt that I cut up to use for the arm to be accurate. Glued the machete in there, a machete I had, so that it kind of like mimics the scene. He can hold it, and it mimics the scene where he rips the guy's arm off with the machete, you know, while holding the machete. And obviously that's how he got the machete too in that particular sequel, right? He's always had machetes, but you know what I mean. So let me just put these away here. So now the mask. Now that's the other thing I updated since I last showed this. Now I had an Oz mask, which by the way is still great, but there was something about this mask that really got to me, and I wanted to kind of try this out for a while. And actually I got this from Magnus. Shout out to Michael Magnus. Darth Magnus, aka Darth Magnus of 16 Fly. He sold me a couple of masks that were actually originally part 4 final chapter Jason masks from Beta Metalli. This is a Beta Metalli mask, but when I was looking at it and I saw the way it was shaped and the wideness of it and everything else, I started to say to myself, you know what? I think this could work really well as a Jason Lives mask, because I had ended up getting, once again, Oz masks for the Jason 4s that I have. So I didn't really need this one. And I says, what can I do here? So I converted it into a Jason Lives mask by covering up some of the, you know, the blood stains up on top there. And then, you know, got rid of the, the additional stripings. So I kind of, you know, and then I added, you know, because originally being a Jason 4 mask, it only had half the red markings in the middle. So what I did was I filled it in, and, you know, with this little touch-up paintwork and marker, I kind of made it a full one to be more accurate to Jason Lives instead. And voila. And now I have a Beta Metalli 4 mask converted into a Jason Lives mask that I kind of like. And I wanted it to have a worn kind of like damaged effect there here, discoloring, but not blood, because the blood wouldn't be accurate for that one. That was more accurate for, obviously, the final chapter when he got the fresh wound of the machete right in there. So pretty proud of that. You know, I just wanted to share that again, because I think, once again, it elevates the figure, kind of gives it that much more of a Jason Lives look, in my opinion. Look at that again, the severed arm there with the machete, really cool. So, okay, so let's get to the main event here with Gallactibles. I've got a couple more of his figures to show. He's got more Jasons here. Obviously, new blood's been kind of dripping all over my videos this year, thanks to him. So you remember I showed you the burnt Jason, how it lights up. And then, of course, he did end up sending me, since the first part of the video I shot, he did send me the split mask, which is a nice little add-on, so it's kind of meant to be like an accessory on the dock, or he can maybe hold it, or you could technically put it on him, so it's like the mask kind of cut in half, but it really cool. So, you know, his vision too was basically, you know, leaving it like on the dock, like after it split up, it's like basically after it split and was destroyed and kind of fell to the floor kind of thing. So that's kind of how I think I'm going to display it for now. But one last look at that beast. Beautiful. Then he sent me this guy. And this guy is, first off, this mask is really banging. I love the mask. And honestly, just for fun, I took this mask off. This is the electrified Jason, the electric Jason. I'll show you why in a minute. Again, once again, another one of his generation head sculpts on there from New Blood. I remember he said he's up to 7 at this point. But, you know, if just for fun, if you were to put this on this, it kind of goes for this too. Maybe a little adjustment, but look at that. Like, how badass is that? Because it also fits the burnt Jason look. So just for fun, I was kind of toying with that. I was like, yeah, if I was to have this one wear a mask, that'd be the one too. That's really cool. But, you know, he also should be accurate to not have a mask in the scene and have that one down there. So anyway, so there's the mask on mask there, the head sculpt, I should say, on mask. So we'll put this back on him. Now, what makes this one the electric Jason? Well, you guys have already seen this. It's no secret if you follow Gallactibles. You know that he made, just like he has a light up effect with this one, which is orange, on this one he has a battery pack that you put a couple of double A's in there, 3 double A's to be exact. And check this out. He's getting electrified from the scene where Tina, not Carrie. Like I said, I always felt that was supposed to be Carrie. When he steps in the puddle with the electrical wire down and in the puddle. And Dan does have a nice little display that goes with that if you buy the figure. A little diorama that shows that scene with the puddle on the floor. And, you know, this is when he gets enough. I show with the light darks out. Look at that. Look at that. Wonderful. How cool is that? That is so freaking cool. So again, it's a gimmick, but it's once again thinking out of the box, being unique and doing something that's never been done before, right? So that's the scene where he gets electrified, which also explains the darker mask, like he was just fried. So really cool. Once again, great work on Gallactibles' part, you know, Dan Terzo. Like I said, thinking out of the box, you know, and kind of just doing different things, which is really great. He also sent me to show you guys this remake Jason that he did. Now, I showed you the Swamp Thing one that was kind of the Swamp Jason. I said Swamp Thing, but you know what I mean. The Swamp Jason one that was kind of a take on this, but, you know, if there was a sequel, that guy is still right over there. You remember I showed that in the first part with his little body bag and all his mess there. This is more traditional. This is actually straight up a remake Jason, and it's very well done, stands very well on its own. Weathering and stuff on the coat and the jackets, really nice. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he said this one is available, so if anybody's interested, you can hit me up while I have the figure still, or hit him up. I told him that if anybody wanted to buy anything that's, you know, not mine, and I'm just showing it in the vid, if somebody wants to buy it while it's in my possession, I'd be happy to send it, you know, on his behalf to you. But this one really is cool, though. I have a couple remake Jasons. Otherwise, I probably would jump on this because from what I understand, the price is extremely reasonable on this. And here's the head sculpt with it unmasked. And this is the remake Jason head sculpt underneath. Look at that. Very nice, very nice. And once again, I believe he showed this on his channel already. So nothing new. Let me just, again, it's very hard to do this with one hand. I'm going to zoom in closer here. There you go. You can get a really good look there. Okay. Look at the eye. Look at the mouth. Very done. Very, very well done. Very nice. The hair in the back, the blonde hair in the back. The details are there. I want to drop it. Again, there's the machete. Worn and bloody. Look at that bloody tip on the end of the machete. I mean, that's what I got to admire about his figures. There's like these little details that really do, just when you notice it, you kind of appreciate the figure that much even more. You know what I mean? So I don't know, guys. If you want this one, act fast, because I may change my mind and just decide to buy this one too. So I told Dan I'm either going to be sending back some of the stuff or none of the stuff, and I'll just be broke depending on how this goes. But but there's certain ones that are prototypes that I definitely have to get back to him for sure. That's not available. But like I said in the other part, the Lipstick Demon, the Burnt Chucky he did, this, they're all available currently. I don't know if the Electric Jason is spoken for, but if not, you can hit him up and ask him about this one too. The burnt Jason is spoken for. That is mine. And this one is mine that we're going to get to last here. So here we have reached the main event. Even though, like I said, damn, did he make it tough for me with that Dutch, I got to tell you. But this right here, he calls it the Artisan Jason 7. Why? Because it's kind of like a DX, and here's why. Because it comes with a nice diorama. It comes with some accessories, which you can see right there. The bush hook, which is nicely done with the blood and the stains on the metal knife there, the knife blade part. The staff is really cool. Okay, the body is a new and improved body, and it's pretty big, and he stands pretty dominant and bigger compared to some of the other ones that we have. Like if you see the electric Jason there, this guy is more beefier and wider. Now, I want to give a shout out to Rob Terrell and his YouTube channel. He did review this, and he reviewed a few just like I'm doing. So he did get first crack at looking at it, but I did make a deal for this one prior to that. So, Dan had, promised it would still come to me to review and to finish buying and keeping. I am a huge sucker for Part 7 Jasons, I will say, and everybody that knows me through the years know that. So there was no way I was going to resist this one. So what we have on right now, just to break this down, just to give everybody a little credit here now. Right now, the weapons I got from him, the base with the broken glass, this little diorama, which is really cool, with the balloons. This is supposed to be the scene with the balloon, with the party, the birthday party, when he crashes through the window. Let me move him again for a second so you can see that. See that, how he broke through the glass. Really cool and creative. And it was a cabin. It was like a wooden cabin environment, right? So he got the scenery and the environment right there. So he has, he has this weapon. He also included, look at how cool this is, the tree trimmer, right? Which is really cool. Look at the blade on that, really nicely done. The handle, the coloring and the weathering, very accurate. Look at that. So you can kind of make him hold that, which is cool. There's one picture I did show that he's holding that. Nice little edit accessory. And again, it's one of those things where you can actually try to make him hold it, or you can just kind of have it in the background. Maybe like if I displayed this for good at some point, I would lean it up against the wall, like it's there kind of in the background, or one of the barn dioramas, whatever. Go nuts, right? So then the chain, the body, everything was done by him. Now the head sculpt, this one he did utilize a One's Customs head sculpt. So this is a Mont Wayne One's Customs head sculpt, which we all know. He's been making Part 7s for a very long time, and he does a great job in making Part 7 head sculpts. He's done it for a while now, so we all know that he's good in that department. And then this mask was done and weathered by Oz. This is an Oz mask actually that Dan used for this, so we want to make that clear to kind of give everybody credit that's supposed to get credit. So it's a One's Customs head sculpt. It's an Oz mask, which looks very similar to an Oz mask I have. I have an Oz mask as well already that I've been using, that I was using on my One's Customs 7 for a while, and then I was using on my Mezco Jason that you saw earlier, and that's this one, okay? So very similar, although this one came directly from Oz, and the rivets, the straps, the paintwork was done directly by Oz. I don't know the whole history of this one, but that is an Oz mask that Dan had gotten as is, okay? So it looks great with this one. You can also play around and swap it. I could use this one on it instead if I want to kind of use it with different, which looks equally as good, right? It's kind of got a different weathering and coloring to it, which also looks sweet. But I like either or. Then, in addition to that, which also makes this the artisan set, like a DX set, he made a bust. He did send me an extra chain that I can use for the bust, which I'm going to weather up a little bit. And this is his mask, okay? This is his mask that he did, which again, very nice. Also looks good on the main figure, which I've already tried it out. I have it on this head for now. He is sending me another head that's going to be for this set that I have a choice to. This is the this is the mask. This is the other head sculpt that I showed that he gave me with the concept Jason 9, which is laying right over there. So I just for now put this on, just for the sake of showing the head on this bust. But he does, he is going to send me what he calls a Gen 5 head sculpt. This is the one that came again with the concept Jason 9 that I showed you earlier, that I just have it on, I just have him sporting it right now. It's hollow, so it doesn't really sit perfectly. I have to kind of like bounce it so he doesn't fall. But I'm just showing you so you kind of get the point right now. I can, let me get my phone. I'm gonna pause it for a second. I'll show you the other head sculpt that he's gonna send me. Okay, I'm back. I just needed a second to get the picture up. But as you can see here, now it's a little distorted with the coloring and everything on the video because it's going from one phone to another phone. But, you know, he said, you know, since he's not going to have it in time, he sent me a picture to kind of show this is his Gen 5, which is like the open mouth, which looks incredible. And again, you know, this type of look is you know, could go with obviously this Jason. Could set it on the bust as an alternate variant. Man, it could even go with the burnt Jason because there was a scene where he opened his mouth after he was pissed off that Tina broke his mask and burned him. So again, there's a lot of options there. I'm going to see if I can get it even closer. You can kind of see. Like I said, it's very, the colors are a little washed out only because it's, you know, like I said, it's on film, but that's what's coming. So that's what's going to be sported on this one or on him and then have this head sculpt on there. Either way, whatever way I want to do it. So really just... you know, just a bunch of awesome stuff. Now, the last thing I wanted to show, just for fun, is, you know, once again, I wanted to give my boy Chris Yeast a shout out. You know, as you saw in the other video, I had showed, you know, his bush hook, which is still amazing as well. And, you know, again, if you have other accessories, you have other things you want to play around with, you know, you can. And, I wanted to show how he looked holding that weapon as well and show the options you have with a figure like this. I'm going to pause this again. Hold on. Okay, and there you have it. And there's the awesome Chris Yeastbush hook also being sported with the Artisan Jason. So again, you can have a lot of fun with this. You know, we have a One's Customs head with an Oz mask with a Chris Yeast weapon, but also beautiful weapons done by Dan himself. And in collaboration with his team, you know, and just to get a little bit more on the figure itself, not to get lost in that, but the details on the clothing and the weathering. I mean, look at this up close. Okay, I just want to show you this again. Look at the detail in the sculpting of the ribs. It goes inside, like I said, it has a 3D look to it. It's not just flat or sculpted flat. The arms, you know, the wetness. Okay, the hands, the chains, and again, there's, if you go this way, you can notice more. There's the nails. That's in the chest. He's got the 4 nails there. Okay. Look at the back. Okay. Look at the spine and the back coming through, the back spine and bones. And look at the mud and the dirt and the weathering. Like I said, once again, excellent, excellent work. The chain around his neck, of course, right? And let me just put it back here without making him fall. And there you go, Artisan Jason. So guys, you know, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm in the Toys R Us of 1/6 with this video, and I really want to thank Tanila once again and Dan of Gallactibles, Dan Terzo, to supply so much more goodies here to show, just to have a lot of fun with this and turn this into a 3-part extravaganza. I mean, I've never had a video, I think, stacked this heavy with these many figures. Whether you're talking about other artists, you know, I want to give a shout out again to Brutus Customs, Creep Customs, One's Customs, Beta Metalli, Gallactibles, Dan Terzo, you know, Tanila, everybody that, you know, just makes our dreams come true with these figures. But Dan right now is killing it, and he's, you know, he's on a warpath, man. Him and Tanila, they're on a mission. I mean, with the stuff he's whipping out, he's definitely here to stay. And he's just going 100 miles an hour at this point, just going on fast forward. And it's just, I'm just really looking forward to the future there. You know, I'm a big supporter. I'm a supporter of talent, and I'm a supporter of creativity, and no matter who it is, you know. But, you know, right now, you know, in the moment, you know, he's really bringing some of the fun back. He's really bringing a lot of options here. He's doing a lot of wild stuff. And there's stuff that he showed me I can't even say yet, that I'll probably be doing some more reviews in the future. When you see what he's working on and some of the stuff he's got in store, he's just getting warmed up. Again, you know, that Jason 9 concept, I just wanted to show you. Again, if you're more of a New Blood fan, he was kind enough to give me some extra chains. I asked for it on purpose because I wanted to show you guys again. This was the one I showed in the first part. You know, that could easily turn into a New Blood. I mean, you put, like I said, you take this sculpt and you put it on here with a mask. You know, and look at the insanity of that. I mean, I said that could easily also be another. This could be like when he first comes out of the lake, right? Because he's all wet and slimy with worms and maggots coming out of him. Like, you know, he's been under the lake forever, you know, and you put one of the masks on him and done deal. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of fun. You know, I took the chains off just to, you know, show you, kind of give it more of the Jason 7 look, or you can go back and do the concept Jason 9 look again with the other head sculpt and stuff. So, you know, he's killing it, man. Like, honestly, he's killing it. The creativity's there, and the time, you know, being done in a more reasonable price and timely manner. That's really what makes all the world of difference. So, guys, once again, you know, thank you so much for watching and putting up with waiting for 3 parts. Thanks again to Dan and Tanila. And hey, you know, last year, you know, I would have said, you know, this could be my last vid because I was really kind of winding up, and, you know, things were just not flowing well. I wasn't getting things. I wasn't, you know, I was waiting too long for certain things. It just, I didn't have a lot to show. Same thing with the year before, you know, just, I don't know. It just didn't feel the same. But, you know, now, I damn straight I'm going to be back, and, you know, I'm going to have more goodies real soon, and this is going to keep going. So stay tuned for more reviews from me throughout the year. I got a lot more to show, things I haven't even unpacked yet or showed that, you know, from other artists or just other things I want to review. And I will be back for Halloween 2024. And if Dan and Tanila keep whipping these things out as fast as they promise, I may have to do 4 parts next year. But we'll see. We'll see what next year brings. Next time, guys, it's a new beginning. You need to stay sick and enjoy the final chapter. All right, guys. Till next time, happy Halloween. Joebizz34. Peace out.